Good evening and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today is another OSR RPG box opening, and today I'm opening up Dungeons and Dragons. This is the expert set that was edited by Cook and Marsh, and this came out around, I believe, like 1981. Two big reasons why I wanted to get this. Number one, it was complete with the book and the module, and I was really happy with that. It was looked like it was in very good condition, or at least good condition, and it was cheap. It was only $60. That included shipping and handling and everything. So I was really happy to be able to pick this up for that price point, and it kind of completes the set that was the very first box set that I owned. So the very first box set of Dungeons and Dragons that I purchased was the magenta box, the Moldvay Cook box set, and then this is just the continuation of that. So even though I have D&D BECMI, BECMI, and I have OD&D that led up to this, plus the Holmes edition leading up to this. This kind of completes my Dungeons and Dragons basic sets, the old school basic set. So this really filled in that final gap that I had in between the old, just as you led into Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So without further ado, I'm going to jump in and start taking a look and showing you this box set. So as I said, $60, and as you can see, the box is in pretty decent condition, which I was quite surprised, happy with as soon as I opened up the packaging, the outer packaging. I was like, this isn't half bad. Um, and then the interior of the box, there's just a little bit of staining, but the corners, which I like to see, is they're complete, they're intact, they're not torn open. So I was really happy to see that as well. So here is the book. And this is a single volume, so the expert rules all contained into one. You know that you have the right set because they came with the 3-hole punch, and my Moldvay has the same thing. So that's something that's unique with this particular 2-box set, was that they did come 3-hole punched already. And so here we go. This will be the 1981. So January of 1981, and this is the first printing. All right, and again, so 74, 77, 78, and 81 by David Cook and Steve Marsh. And flipping through it, very very briefly, I will flip through this. Now, this is pretty solid, and I would actually consider using this as a playable copy, because it's it's in decent shape, and I can tell that this could use this can use some additional use without running the risk of damaging it in any way. So so I would definitely use this as a copy to run a game with. And that's something that I want to do. I want to keep on bringing newer players to old school Dungeons and Dragons, and old school role playing games in general. But particularly Dungeons and Dragons, I would love to bring my niece and her group of players away from 5e and into taking a look at where the game really began. And once you start getting a real true sense of what Dungeons and Dragons was like in its early years, and the fact that these versions are still played, these editions are still played today. So we're going back to 1981. We're going back, practically 40 years, and actually it is 40 years. Going back 40 years, and these are still very playable. So that's something that I think is very noteworthy of these editions. So real happy with the quality of it, but the real big seller here, and what I was really happy to get was here is the Isle of Dread, one of the most popular adventures I see on eBay. This alone runs between $30 and $40. And in this condition, it's certainly well worth the fact that I got the whole thing for 60. But here we go with a very classic. So this is a wilderness adventure, and this is written by David Cook and Tom Moldvay, and it's for levels 3 to 7, which happens to be the same level that my AD&D first edition group is about to enter into. They'll all be level 3, potentially a couple of them level 4, leading into the next session that we have. They've just completed their first 13-week long adventure. So so this might be something that I convert and just change locations and such, and still be able to, instead of an island, this could be a cavern, since they're nowhere near a shoreline, and then all the rest is very transportable. By just making some setting changes and such. I'm really looking forward to doing this. I really, to be honest with you, I don't remember if we actually ran this back in the day. We may, or maybe we haven't, because if this came out in 81, my group was already very, immersed into playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. But super excited about getting my hands on this. And my Moldvay box came with both the dice set, the crayon, and the Keep on the Borderlands. And then it has one of these, which is always nice to have there. You can see the bottom box here. So it's a little bit loose here, but still no tears, and it's in great shape as far as that's concerned. So really, really happy with this acquisition, especially at that price and the condition that it's in. And it does complete my run now of OD&D, followed by the Holmes edition, followed by Moldvay Cook, or Moldvay Cook and Marsh, and then the Menser, which is going from Beckme all the way through, and then I go into first edition AD&D, second edition AD&D. I have a complete set of that. Third, fourth, and fifth, I just have the core books of each of those, and as I'm moving forward with my collection, I'm pretty much done with Dungeons and Dragons. I have everything that I really need to get my hands on. So I have a complete run of everything, except for the supplements of third edition and fourth edition and fifth edition. So I really don't need anything else. And as I run out of shelf space behind me that you can see, I will start phasing out those more modern versions of Wizards of the Coast's their fantasy RPG, and move that off my shelf, and put that off into storage elsewhere, because I do have a lot of other things coming in that will be a good use for my shelf space. So Once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions or comments that you want to make, you can make those on the you can make those in the comment section. If you have any games that you would like for me to take a look at, please feel free to leave a comment in there. Tell me, hey, take a look at this. I have a Kickstarter coming up. I almost never reject like reviewing a Kickstarter or a piece that you already have out there. The only time that I do is if I come across something and it's just not really to my taste, and I don't feel that that I could give it an objective review. And but for the most part, I really haven't come across anything that anyone's asked me to take a look at that I didn't, immediately back and look forward to actually doing a review for. So, well, once again, another great find on eBay this time, and you know, give some of these older editions a try if you can get your hands on it. So, like I said, I paid $60 for this. Could you get this on print on demand from Drive-Thru RPG for less? Yes, you can. But if you do, just realize that you could pay a little bit more, $20, $30 more, and have an original gem like this in your hands. So for me, that's a better buy, because you are buying a piece of history when you're buying the original. And when you can get it in this kind of a condition, it's even all the better. So once again, thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe out there, and I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. You have a great evening. Take care.